I couldn't see her. I could hear the monitor. I could feel her hand. She asked me, "Did you talk to your father?" I said, "No." Then my father's voice from the other side of the bed, "Don't push yourself so hard now." And she said, "It's okay." I waited for it to move again. That morning, I couldn't see, which sounds like a terrible way to start a Tuesday. It was mostly inconvenient. Everyone lost something every morning: sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch. One of them gone until the next day, and nobody knew which until they woke up. The world had stopped finding the strange a long time ago. I hadn't. Not completely, because I liked noticing things. Not important things necessarily, like the sound old books make when they open, rain collecting along the edge of a window, a sentence that reads differently the second time. Things most people walk past. I collected them. I taught literature at a college across town. I knew that room, how many steps from the door to the first row, where the desk sat, where the microphone waited, at least where the microphone usually waited. Somebody had moved it. I found out later she would watched me coming down the corridor and thought about it properly first. I didn't ask where it was. I just turned toward them and started without it. There are things a writer can describe perfectly and still fail to make you see. Someone laughed from the back row, so I stopped and asked, "Who did that?" Nobody answered. I waited for a moment, then said, "Oh, I see. Apparently, we have a very hardworking person among us today." I found the mic myself. I didn't thank whoever put it there. Not because I was angry. As far as I was concerned, the problem had been solved. I had been teaching long enough to know that students enjoy finding out exactly how far they can push you. And I had been losing senses long enough to know how to push them back. After the class, I was sitting with two of my colleagues. They would made a bit of a project out of me by then. One of them said, "You spent 10 minutes describing that sculpture and you could not even say it." So I pointed towards the other one and said, "He could not taste anything yesterday. He still drank the coffee." He thought about that for a second and said, "Fair enough." I lifted my cup and smelled it, mostly so they would watch me do it. That's the thing about beauty. You don't always have to say it. I was quite pleased with that at the time. Then my phone rang. It was someone from the hospital. I don't remember her name. She told me about my mother. So I asked if my father was there. She said he was. That surprised me. My father? He's already there. She said, "Yes." I got up and told her I was coming. One of my colleagues said, "I'll take you." I said, "No, it's okay." But he didn't let it go. "You don't have to be stubborn today." So I told him, "I'm not being stubborn. I can manage." "I know you can." But I still said, "I'm fine. No need to worry." And that was true to me. She'd been ill for months. There had been bad days before, calls before. We would taken her to the hospital before. But there are certain sentences doctors use when they're trying not to promise you tomorrow. I would just heard one of them. On my way, someone offered to help me cross the road. "Need help crossing?" I said, "I'm good, thank you." And because I refused the help, I missed the bus. The next one was 6 minutes away. Normally, 6 minutes was nothing. That day, 6 minutes felt like an eternity. And while I was standing there, something my colleague had said kept coming back to me. You don't have to be stubborn today. So I ordered a cab. I was listening to the rain against the window, and for whatever reason, it reminded me of snow. I must have been 8. I remember looking up and saying, "Mom, look, they are like little flowers falling from the sky." She looked up. "That's beautiful." My father was holding my hand and he reached down and fixed my glove. And then, because that's how memory works, it gave me another one. I was 18. I would come home to tell them I had been accepted into university. But before I could say anything, my father said, "I spoke to Mr. Sato." I stopped and asked, "About what?" He said, "His company is taking graduates next year. He said he will arrange an interview." That caught me completely off guard. "You spoke to him about me?" He said, "It's only an interview." So I told him, "I didn't ask you to." And he genuinely didn't understand why that bothered me. "You don't have to accept it." My mother looked at him. He noticed. "What?" I left. That's how I remembered them. And memories get dangerous when you stop checking them against the people who were there. When I entered the room, I heard my father's voice. "You made it." I stopped. "You could have called me yourself instead of getting the hospital to do it." There was no reply. So I found the bed and sat down beside my mother. "Did you talk to your father?" "No." Then I heard my father. "Don't push yourself so hard now." I could not believe that was what he chose to say. "It's okay." I felt my mother's grip tighten around my hand. "I am here. Hold it a bit tighter." I thought she was cold. Then I heard her breathing change. I waited for her to say something. "Mom?" A little later, I heard a nurse calling to my father in the corridor. "Sir?" Nothing. "Sir?" Still nothing. After a while, I heard my father say, "Sorry, I can't hear today." I heard every word of it. For a while, he didn't say anything. Then I heard him talking quietly to himself. 31 years. Never once needed to hear her more than today. He hadn't ignored me. There hadn't been a conversation, not for him. And the hospital hadn't called because he didn't want to. He asked them to. I sat with that for a while. For once, there was nothing useful I could do with what I would learned. The next morning, everything that had gone the day before had come back. That was the bargain. Lose something, wait, get it back. But some things don't wait for your senses to return. I could see again. We buried her on Friday. My father and I stood a little apart from the others. I could see her now. I could have left. For most of my life, I probably would have. But there was one thing I could not let go of. "Dad, what did she look like?" At the end, happy. She looked happy and beautiful. like the first day I met her. Then he asked, how did she sound? I hadn't considered that. Warm, like always.